Just want you to know that I'm totally burnt out because I'm oatmeal, but I just cooked myself too long and I burnt myself up so much, so incredibly, so terrifying. It's just fundamentally, I'll never ever be exactly what I was because of the 5G, because of all that stuff that's just burning me up, turning me into a gay frog. Alex Jones is not the only one, and this is what I am. So, whether you like it or not, I am what I am. If you don't understand me, I must be retarded. If you don't get what I'm trying to say, when I'm trying to say what I've been saying for a long time, then I must be a retard because you can't really understand a retarded person. And it must be because of all the stuff that's happening. Like, all the stuff that's happening. And it must be, because of all the fluoride. Yeah. That's why I got some toothpaste. What happened to my toothpaste? Well, let's see. Well, I do have this earth paste. The earth paste is doing okay, but activism is fundamentally coming out from our brain, and the internet is able to get us all to be in sync together, and we're able to educate each other. Not only is the internet for entertainment, it's able to help people educate each other and everything, and that's why it's been a tool by the monsters, the globalists, for a very long time to control us, just like cable and TV and everything else. It was designed to program us. That's why the TV shows are called programs, is because it's all about predictive programming and everything. And so the internet is all about that too. And so why would you not want to focus on the online part of activism, as that produces a lot of offline activism? Obviously, you got to have a mix, and obviously you have to try to focus a little bit more on the offline part, because there are a lot of the keyboard warriors, and I don't know if I'm one of them. I would argue, no, I'm not. I'm not. But you really gotta try your best to do stuff offline, and it's a really good idea to have the Wi-Fi networks all named Infowars.com kind of thing, because then a lot of people can see it, and that's an online activism thing. And just the ability to educate people online, that produces a lot of people that want to go offline and stuff. What am I saying? If I'm really retarded, I guess nobody will understand what I'm saying, because I've been burnt oatmeal and disaligned from eternal principles and everything that really matters, kind of thing. And it really is messing people up. All the stuff that they're doing, all the stuff that they're trying to do for 2030 and everything. 2030. It's difficult to know exactly how to red pill people. Like, this video, for example, may not be a red pill for anybody who doesn't already know what I'm saying. And therefore, this video is not really a good example of how to do it. Not necessarily. That other video was really good. Really, really, really good. That video, how the Grinch stole Christmas. No, it wasn't that one. It was the other one. What was the other one called? It was called the new one that was just made for this Christmas 2018. Make America Grinch Again. It's really interesting to see who the Grinch is. He's a little bit like the Scrooge man, Mr. Scrooge from the Christmas Carol, who is also kind of like not the prodigal son, but the prodigal grandpa. And the redemption story is a very powerful thing. And I use oatmeal as my icebreaker. You always need an icebreaker, and questions are really, really, really important, as it can help people open up their minds. And I emphasize on that. And obviously people are like, well, I already know that. But if you really get into the meats and potato and oatmeal of all of it, you can see that the art of asking a really, 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 really good question is what makes it so golden, so amazing. Because it's like you have to really look at the world from other people's perspective, but then also keep in mind the end result at the same time and help them get there step by step, gradually, kind of thing, day by day kind of thing. But you really got to make it look a little bit interesting, maybe not too interesting, because it's not all about that. But at the same time, you have to think how do you say strategically? I need somebody to help me learn how to talk, because I'm burnt oatmeal. Probably should turn my name into Oatmeal Burnt instead of Oatmeal Joey. Original Oatmeal. I see it as a pretty silly thing. I've been considered as a pretty goofy character. Whether or not this is really who I am or not is not the most important thing. Most important thing is trying to get people to go to like Infowars.com and DrudgeReport.com and go to some of the alternative social networks to get off the social ghetto places like Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Tumblr, TikTok. TikTok is the new one. And I was just on TikTok and on Sunday for the first time, and made a little video, just me saying, like I am right now, kind of, I'm oatmeal, 15-second videos. But then I was trying to trying to get on it on my laptop instead. It's on my phone. It's an app, and I feel like it's difficult. I don't use my phone a lot, but the younger generation do, and a lot of people do, and that's good. And it's good and it's bad kind of thing, and it's technology and money, and technology is all out there to get us kind of thing. But we can always turn it around, like we did the internet and everything else, and we're trying to turn money around. And there's a couple different ways to do that with the money, obviously, but you got to spice things up and mix things up, and you got to do the best you can and start with what you have, what you know, kind of thing. And what am I saying? I'm burnt oatmeal. That's all I can say. It's 2018, December 28th, Friday. I'm Oatmeal Joey Arnold, and there is so much value and so much purpose. There's this. It's like, how do I say? It is so valuable to do whatever you can and do things in different ways, and to try different things. I've said this before. I probably said this like yesterday, but I'm saying, like, there are so many creative people out there, and they're doing amazing things. There's all these different projects going around all around the world all at the same time. We're living in this golden opportunity day of age. How do I say? I feel like I don't even know English. I've been in Vietnam for too long. What am I saying? I'm saying that we could be doomed and we could feel hopeless. But what's the point? Because I see people and they're just like, oh, it's the end of the world, and after Trump, or even right now, and it's all doom and gloom kind of thing. And I'm like, hey, I understand that. It's always possible that this can happen, that can happen, and it could be the end of the world this way or that way, or all the ways all combined, all put together. And we can all become burnt oatmeal together, and it can totally destroy us and everything. But I choose to fight. I believe that things can get better, and I just want to try. It's not necessarily that things will get better, but I want to try to make things a little bit better. And why would you not want to do that? Why would you not want to make the world a little bit better, and that's what info moms are all about. And Pastor Sam should start a group called Info Pastors. We could just have a bunch of different info groups. Info sons, info men, not just info women, info little babies, info little teenagers. So the teenagers can start a group to reach out to the teenagers, and info young adults, info dads, or they can just be a part of the moms group, info moms, if they identify as a mom. But then again, that's your business, not mine, kind of thing. Whenever people want to identify as something, they can do that if they want, but you don't really need to emphasize on that, but people do, and then that's another problem that you gotta talk about that. Oh man, oh brother, what's going on? A lot of things are happening in the world, but it's like there's a lot of hope at the same time, and talking about a problem is just not good enough. If an article talks about a problem, like for example, like Earthlink, their internet services went out all over the northwest of America, like Oregon and Washington State and probably some other places, and an article talked about that and talked about how the internet went down, and a lot of people use it. It's called EarthNet, and it's like it's a very terrible thing, and I agree. I don't disagree with that, but I would write some suggestions or some possibilities of what might have happened, kind of thing, in the article. If I wrote the article, I would have said things a little bit differently, and I would have been like, hey man, we gotta I don't know. Hey, okay, how about I just tell you what I would have done? I would have said, they got a problem. I obviously don't know a lot. What do I know about computers besides being a little bit of a web designer in the past? But I don't know a lot about code. I don't know a lot of code. I just copy and paste. But regardless, I would say, hey, there's a problem. That's why we should go for a like a blockchain solution. Go for one of those things like Substratum or something. Try to find a way to get internet in a different way, like peer-to-peer, for example. Peer-to-peer, that means computer to computer. You can do a setup with your computer with Wi-Fi or whatever, like mostly just Wi-Fi. You can connect your computer to another computer, doing the ad hoc option that's in most computers in the network program thingamabobber. And here's my disclaimer. I'm no expert, but what do I know? I'm just burnt oatmeal, so don't ask me for any advice about anything, because I obviously don't know anything except for stuff that I think I know, which is a little bit of everything. That's why I write on Steam.com, and I try to go on all the different websites as much as possible, but I do try to do a little bit of offline activism sometimes, not a lot recently, but I did do some activism in Vietnam when I lived in Vietnam, and now I don't do it a lot because I feel like I'm more effective online. It really depends on who you are, what you can do, kind of thing, but just want you to know that education is not off topic. That's what I wrote to John Boy on the Infocoms. And it's very, very important to talk about how everything is interconnected, and I see things as connected. And when somebody says, well, that's off topic, it's because they fail to see the connection to the topic, or they just pretend not to see it, they ignore it or something. And that's too bad. It's too bad, but I'm just looking at the thread right now, and I'm just thinking about this, and a little bit sad that people got to be like, hey, like it's Lennox said, hey, I'm tired of people creating these threads and talk about these things and going off topic to attack people. And I say I'm not really attacking people. I'm attacking the ideas, because I'm not taking it at a personal level when I make a thread. Like I just made a thread on Infocoms called John Boy Hates Education. It's not really about him, but I'm using that as a conversation starter as an icebreaker, and I can get a lot of people's attention to be like, oh, or they maybe it doesn't work at all and what I'm doing is not effective, and that might be true. It might be true. But for the moment, I'm just trying to get people to be like, it's another way to get people's attentions. Statements and questions can get to people in different ways, and just like a sticker can get to people, some kind of headline can get to people, and has, like the fake news, they do it all the time, so why are we not doing it too? Doing a little bit of clickbaiting, like PewDiePie, and other people. Mark Dice does it. A lot of people do these kinds of things. They make these questions, they make these statements, and it gets people's attention, and it gets people to think about it in different ways. And why would you not do that? Why would you not do that? Why would you underestimate the value of all of it? And that's what I'm saying. That's why it's very important to start a lot of things online. And what is online? What is offline? It's something I don't really understand. Obviously, I know the difference, but at the same time, it's like everything you do online, you're doing offline at the same time, because you're physically like interacting with it in the 3D world. So in a philosophical level, it's like it's kind of there. It's like it's a little obviously there's an emphasis on the online part when you're online, but that doesn't mean that it's like isolated from the offline aspects of it, because they both work together, kind of thing. And it's like, how do I say? There's just so many things happening at the same time, and I'm just going all over the place. But I'm gonna go back to doing what I do, and because I'm burnt oatmeal. You can see that I'm a little burnt whenever I grow out my beard a little bit. It's like I look like I have a burnt face. Maybe I got ran over by the reindeers. Which is racist, by the way. Not really. But like some people are like trying to take it off. David Knight was talking about that on his show, the David Knight Show, and talking about how the people go after they went after the reindeer because, what happened in that movie, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, and they're making fun of him. Just like maybe people made fun of me when I was a kid. You got 4 eyes. And it's like they're attacking us. And it's like you don't want to go that direction in your own life and what you do. You don't really want to, how do I say? You don't want to do that. Like, you don't want to do what? You don't want to attack too many words, even though you might want to sometimes, but it's dangerous because, like, what they say. They say things like you can't say mother and father because some people don't have a mother and father, and that's going to offend people. And that's too bad. But you're going to offend people. And that's I have to say Jordan Peterson talked about that, and he had a good point. I don't know a lot about Jordan Peterson, and I don't know if he's a dangerous person or if he's used by the enemies or not, like Ben Shapiro, and it may be true. They make some good points. I don't listen to them a lot because I just don't have time to listen to everybody, so I focus more on the people that I like more. And they may be trying to keep people away from a lot of things that they don't want people to know about, and so it could be like controlled opposition, and that's too bad. It's too bad. But at the same time, we know it, and so we can let other people know it, and that's fundamentally amazing. It's amazing. And I don't know what I look like. Maybe I look like Snoopy. Maybe I look like some kind of poor little puppy, little doggy. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. I don't know. But I do look silly, and that's kind of like a character kind of thing. But characters can actually make a difference in the world, whether they're real or not. Like the gay frog thing is able to open people's minds, even though it's like It's kind of silly, like some of the memes, some of the characters, some of these ideas. It looks kind of stupid, like especially if you become one. It can be a terrible thing. Like if I become some kind of meme or something, like look at me, or somebody else does. Like if you're a product of a meme, if you became memed, like that cucked boy, you're an effing white male kind of thing that you might see talked about on the Owen Schroyer show, The War Room. It's like it could be considered a bad thing, a good thing, a bad thing, a little bit of both. But ultimately, are we not all memes? Ultimately speaking, why would you shy away from it? The problem, let me say this. One last thing I'm going to say in this video. The problem that a lot of people have is they take themselves too seriously and they want people to like totally respect them, which is a good thing and all that kind of stuff. Like they want that, but it's like life is a beautiful thing and you can enjoy it like you enjoy a good cup of oatmeal. And you're actually able to make a better impact if you don't take yourself so seriously, because if you take yourself seriously, then you're kind of pushing people away, unfortunately, even though, you know, like what you're doing is kind of like a good thing. You think it's a kind of like a good thing, you know, kind of thing, but it's like, oh man, it's like you could do so much better. You could do better if you have passion. Even if people don't like you, you still have the ability to influence people if you are some kind of character. And you are able to push people towards the truth slowly, but you really got to be patient. And that's all, folks. That's all. And that's what being oatmeal is all about. Whether you're retarded or not, you're able to make a difference. And coffee with Scott Adams. Simultaneous sip. Did I say that right? This is the end of the video with all the bloopers. Beep, boom, boom, boom. Beep. Did I say the F word again? Beep. I didn't say it one time. Beep. Some people do. Beep. Free Tommy Robinson, Alex Jones, and Laura Loomer, and bunch of other people. Free yourself. And who's that guy that says that's amazing? Peterson, Mr. Peterson. Yeah, that's it. Gotta go. Until next time, this is Burnt Oatmeal burning himself out. Why? Because he can. Because he can. And you can too. And if you don't, that's too bad. That's too bad. Goodbye.